How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video on Coaster Xtra. In today's video, I'm going to be analysing Abyssus, which is a Vekoma shockwave located at Energylandia in Poland. It just opened, so I feel like this would be the perfect time to show this new POV that they just released, including all of the theming on this ride. Now, I just want to note that this POV entirely belongs to Energylandia. I will link their YouTube channel and this video in the description, so go check those out. This video was not recorded by me, but nevertheless, I'm going to get straight into analysing this layout, so I'm going to play this POV now. Okay, so we start up by having a little pause, and then we go through into a LSM launch. This launch takes you into a right-hand bank turn and into a small little airtime hill, then into a twisted airtime hill and into a left-hand banked turn. Then you go into a little snake turn and into a left-hand bank turn, which takes you into an airtime hill, which takes you into the second LSM launch of this ride, taking you into a steep left-hand bank turn, into a top hat, and a big steep drop. This takes you into a vertical loop, and as you exit this loop, you head into a left-hand curve and an airtime hill. Then you enter the batwing element of this ride, and you go through a little straight section of the track, and then out of the batwing. Then you go into a right-hand bank turn, then a left-hand bank turn, then a little pop of airtime, and then into a right-hand bank turn, which leads into a corkscrew. This then takes you into a right-hand bank turn again, then into a wave turn and a left-hand banked curve. Then you go into a right-hand banked turn and into the final brake run. So that is all to the layout. It is a pretty long ride actually, and it's got two launches. As I mentioned, it is manufactured by Vekoma and it is their shockwave model. It reaches a top speed of 62 miles per hour and a top height of 126 feet. It reaches this height at the very top of that top hat that I mentioned earlier. When it went into that very steep left-hand turn and into that top hat, that is where it reaches 126 feet. It also features 4 inversions, which is a vertical loop, then the batwing first half, then the batwing second half, and then the corkscrew, and that is the final inversion on the ride. So 4 inversions, it's a pretty balanced ride. It has got a lot of turns and also a lot of airtime. Having a lot of turns isn't actually a bad thing, because it seems like on this ride you will get very good lateral Gs and also some positive G-force as well, which is going to be really nice. It also looks like you'll get a few negative Gs in those airtime hills, so that looks pretty fun. And also, this ride isn't just the layout, it's also got a lot of theming. You may have noticed as I was playing the POV, you've seen a lot of trenches and tunnels that the ride goes through. This ride is very diverse. It features a lot of time close to the ground and in the ground, but there's also quite a lot of high up moments, like that big top hat, and the inversions are quite high. So we're going to run through the theming now, starting at the beginning of the ride. You may notice that there is a pump to the left-hand side, of you, and this is like a big water pump, as this ride is basically themed around like Atlantis or some kind of underwater city that's been kind of uncovered. And the track is kind of almost like water, as it seems like. It's the very bright blue colour. It stands out a lot, this ride, against any of the theming because of its colour. It's absolutely beautiful, this colour of the ride. I really like it. The supports is just a slightly darker blue, which helps tie into the underwater theme as well. When you launch off, you may notice that there are some supports featured around, of course, needed to hold up the ride, but they are themed quite nicely. The main structure of the support is just a dark blue beam, but if you look all around this track, you see that the bases of the supports are like these kind of pillars like a part of an underwater city again. And this actually works pretty well. So as you go through the layout and you do your little twisted airtime hill here, through some curves, you see that you get quite close to the ground in some spots. It's quite beautiful. It's just gravel around here, which isn't the most interesting, but the supports and the bright blue track really do tie in well. You know, it's good contrast and it makes the track and the coaster stand out very well. As you curve around here, you notice that you go through your first trench and the walls are all lined with the same stones that feature on the support. It's a very, very nice kind of effect here, you know, the darker spots in between the bricks. It looks very nice and it kind of looks like ruins, as if it's kind of been eroded by the water and then you've just uncovered it now. You go up into an airtime hill and you can see that you come into the main tunnel section before the launch, and this has a clear side to it, and on the left and on the right it's got more stone walls, and it's just quite nice. As you rush through this building, you know, you kind of see it go behind you, and at the top of this you will see a very good view. You can see the whole coaster here, all this track. You can see just how much it stands out against the ground, and you can see that this area of the ride has a more kind of sandy base rather than the gravel, which kind of separates the first and the second half. You can also see over to your left hand side the top of the station with its cool little arc. Also, the logo of this ride is pretty cool. I'll put a picture of the logo on the screen now, or a picture of the area's logo if I can't find one of the actual ride. I should be able to, however, I do like the logo of both the area and the ride. And you can see this vertical loop just towering above everything. Again, the support structures kind of blend in nicely with the ground. You can see round here that there's a lot of trench work going on, and round here, just as you come down this drop, you actually head into a little trench, which is very nice. It kind of makes you feel like you're really at different terrains throughout the ride, which is pretty cool. Then as you go under this batwing, you get a much better view of the station here. It's very, very nice. Lots of pillars. It kind of looks like ruins, as I mentioned earlier. Lots of the pumps on the top. I really like that little feature. And as you go into this batwing, this whole area is like a little trench, and you can see that there was a lot of water in that area as well, which is quite unique. The rest of the ride doesn't really have that. Then as you go through these curves, you see that the walls kind of feel like ruins. If I skip back a little bit, the walls that you're traversing through are at different elevations, kind of making you feel like they've been eroded by the water, which is very nice. You're going over yourself a lot on this ride as well, which should provide some good head choppers. Again, another trench, which I think it really helps to tie in the ride. It means that you're getting lots of good head choppers because you're weaving through lots of track. And you're also getting lots of elevation changes, and it might feel like you're pretty close to those walls, which is quite cool as an element in itself, especially as you're going at high speed. And I'm going to pause it when I see the station now. So as you enter the final brake run here, you can see some more of the area. Lots of the buildings are very, very well themed. I quite enjoy just looking at this area. It's a very beautiful kind of zone of the park. It's quite separate. I mean, some other zones of Energylandia do have lots of, you know, theming, but this kind of is definitely the most well themed of all the rides at the park. As you turn around here, you'll be able to see the batwing above you, which is a really nice feature. I love how the batwing goes under the station. You can also see that this whole area has a lot of water in it. If I play again, you can see these waterfalls that are coming down off of the station, which I think is a really, really nice feature, and you can see how the shaping of that batwing works perfectly as it comes out of the front of the station. And you can see on the top of the station these pumps, like I mentioned earlier, but down this side you can see all the kind of like wires, well not wires, but tubes that the water's going through, as if it's powering this whole city, and it's all like based around water, which it is, and it's a really nice themed area. If we head into this station here, which we are about to, you can see that it's all very blue. It seems more modern than the rest of the ride, but of course it has to be. The support structure must of course hold up the ride and the roof of this station, but you can see that there's still a lot of kind of old support beams. It's just kind of, it works perfectly, I think. The blue theme, it just works amazingly well, and I think this area has come together pretty astonishingly. I think This area has been in progress for a while now, and I think it's turned out very, very nicely. And also, I want to just mention the trains of this ride, they're like boats. It's really cool, as if you're kind of sailing through this zone on like a speedboat almost, but it's not. It's really like a kind of old style boat, which I think is slightly strange, but I think it works very well. And as I said, this ride did open on the 14th of July. So it has been opened very, very recently, and it opened in Energylandia in Poland. There's a theme park that's quite famous actually, because it's got a lot of roller coasters now. It's got quite a few, and it's just a very, very big park, and it's been investing for so long. It hasn't even been open for that long, and it is just got so many good rides and coasters, including this new one, Abyssus, and this is such a good part of the park now. It's gonna just be such a good investment. People are gonna love it, I can tell you. Theme park enthusiasts are gonna travel from all around the world to ride this and all the other coasters at Energylandia. And now that is going to be the end of this Analysing Abyssus video. I really do hope that you enjoyed, and if you did, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing so you never miss another roller coaster video like this. Also join my Discord server if you want to just come and have a chat about some coasters or just general stuff really. Anything you want to talk about, you can come on and chat about it on my Discord server. The link to that is in the description. I really hope that you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.